What's in it?
Junior ROTC
Life-size statue. That was cute.
In recognition and sincere appreciation for 29 years of distinguished and dedicated service to our great nation. Your leadership, selfless service, honor, and integrity have left a profound influence on the lives of those with whom you served. 27 July 1988 to 30 November 2017.
Wow.
And welcome to this retirement ceremony in honor of Sergeant Major Doug Foster. I stand in front of you today with a deep sense of humility and great pride. Humility at the awesome responsibility that God has placed upon me as the presiding officer of this ceremony. And pride in the reflection of the service of a great soldier in nearly 30 years to our country. This soldier has given 30 years of his life making sure that others can secure their hopes, their aspirations, and their dreams. And while the contributions of Sergeant Major Foster and his family have made our Army and the nation stronger, today we take time to pause and remember all those who made this possible, the sacrifices that were made, and more importantly, the enduring legacy that will echo through eternity as he transitions. But before I begin, I want to extend a special welcome and thanks to the family members and friends of Sergeant Major Foster who took time from far and wide to be here today. I realize that it is not only through your love and contribution that Doug Foster, the man, has become Doug Foster, the Command Sergeant Major, the Sergeant Major who has led our men and women throughout the Army for all these years. While combat soldiers know war as few others now living know it, the life of a military family is also a struggle, filled with sacrifices that many don't understand. The love of our families gives a soldier the strength and resiliency to serve in our Army. Sergeant Major Foster's family has also been his source of strength and resilience. Starting with his mother, Miss Ruthie Foster. She nurtured and guided Doug, allowing him to follow his heart. And as you can see from that picture, he followed his heart to where he is today.
That's right.
She instilled in him the values that made him the man that he is today. An amazing woman. An amazing woman. Sergeant Major Foster never hesitates to tell anyone about his mom and the fact that she was the best mom in the world. She raised her children as a single parent and provided for them. She gave her children not everything they wanted, but she gave them absolutely everything they needed.
That's right.
She could feed her family an entire meal on $5. She was fair, but she was firm. Even to this day, she has a way of scolding and praising you at the same time. Something Sergeant Major Foster told me about just the other day. Ruthie Foster taught him so much. She encouraged him as a young boy, and she continues to do so even today. She has always been his biggest fan, and she rarely missed an opportunity to support him through football games, boxing matches, and she even showed up at the MEP station at 5:30 in the morning. I bet your drill sergeant loved that. You see, a mother's love is a special kind of love, and throughout her life, and even during the recent hardships in Houston, she has never failed to make time for her son. Her support has been unwavering, and her love unconditional. She reflects a great example of what the Greeks call agape love, an unconditional and total love. And we know that it has made a positive difference in your life. It has also made a positive difference in our Army and in the lives of the men and women that you have served alongside. to your children, Anna, Nathaniel, and Doug Jr. Your loving support is an inspiration. It's an inspiration to your dad. You are the driving force behind your father's success. All soldiers muster courage when they think about their children. We train hard and often are away from home. Long hours, late nights, and always with our kids in mind. We think about them often. We go to war knowing that our lives, and more importantly, the lives of our children, depend upon our training and our readiness. And we give our last full measure making sure our kids are safe. All of this does not make growing up as an Army brat easy. You watched your dad dedicate himself and his life to a level of excellence known by few. And each of you has sacrificed as a result of his service to our nation. You have our deepest and sincerest thanks and appreciation for all you have sacrificed and given in support of your father's career. When the story is written of your father's generation one day, and I believe there will be a story written about this generation, I also believe that we'll be recognized as one of the greatest generations of soldiers that have ever served in our Army. I also believe there'll be a special chapter in that book about the children of those men and women and the many sacrifices that they made and the unsung heroes that have gone on and that will continue to go on. And they will live a life of service to our nation, do things other than serve in the military. And they too will have an impact because they understand service in a way that very few Americans do today. Your father's service has secured and will continue to make a positive difference in our world. It has made a positive difference in the lives of many men and women, and we thank you for all that you've given to allow us to have your dad for nearly 30 years. Amen. In war, we know there is no substitute for victory, and make no mistake about it, our Army today has remained victorious because of our great non-commissioned officers. Men and women like Sergeant Major Doug Foster, who traced their lineage and standards of discipline back to the Revolutionary War, where during that time, George Washington sought out a young Prussian officer named Frederick von Steuben. And at Valley Forge in 1778, it was von Steuben who wrote the regulation for the order and discipline of troops of the United States, more commonly known as the Blue Book. Through this, he established the basic duties and responsibilities of the non-commissioned officer and delegated the task of training, inspecting, and instilling discipline to our troops. And since that time, our non-commissioned officers have been our standard keepers for training the individual soldier in their warrior tasks and drills. A tradition we carry on today, and one that Sergeant Major Doug Foster has carried on for 30 of the 242 years that our Army has existed. Now, Sergeant Major Foster joined our great Army at the right young age of 22. If you look at that picture, I think we're going to have to do an ID card check. I'm not quite sure. And in the year of 1988 that he joined, the movie Die Hard was first released. The very first transatlantic cable had been laid across the ocean. Man, that seems like a long time ago.
All right.
And Nike came out with an ad that was called Just Do It. Some of you remember that. And Just Do It, Sergeant Major Foster did. He joined our Army and he became a tanker. That's right. Sergeant Major Foster came into our Army and he was on an M1A1 tank. And at the young rank of Corporal, Doug Foster, Corporal 1 each, was assigned as a tank commander. And for those of you that may not know, a tank commander is typically held by a senior non-commissioned officer, and that tells you the caliber of soldier that Doug Foster, the corporal non-commissioned officer, was. And this young, smart tank commander would show the rest of this company and the world just how good he and his team were, as they scored 900 out of 1,000 on the table 8, earning him and his young team the respect of his entire company. No small feat. Eventually, Sergeant Major Foster would leave his tank for something more, so he reclassed into the Signal Regiment for an opportunity to become a 31 Lima. Cable dog, cool? Let me see that tooth. All of you know the cable dogs have a groove in their tooth because they never had wire skinners. They don't right up on their tooth. We love our cable dogs. They've got the heart and the courage to do anything. And typically we ask them to do many, many things, whether it's sit inside the switch and run the switch, put up the LOS, LES, pull the cable, climb the pole, and do it all he did. Starting off as a communications squad leader at Fort Polk, leading a UHF communications squad, and ending up here at the 7th Signal Command as the Chief Signal Non-Commissioned Officer. He has made his mark on our Army, and he has made our Army better. He has always ensured in every assignment that his formations could move, shoot, and communicate.
Boom, boom.
Now, if you ask Sergeant Major Foster what his biggest career accomplishment is, he will tell you that his time serving as a first sergeant in the 25th STB in Hawaii, and then again in the 39th Signal Battalion in Belgium. His claim to fame in both of those assignments is that he challenged his soldiers to exceed the standard. And exceed the standard he did. His company's always led the way in training stats and personnel readiness. And he served as a first sergeant while also being a single parent to his 3 children, emphasizing the importance of work-life balance. What an incredible, incredible tribute. Sergeant Major Foster was a private person, but he did share 2 significant emotional events that weighed heavily on him throughout his career. And I'd like to share them with you. The first one was when he was serving as a tank commander in a combat tour in Iraq. We had been given the mission to cross the berm and to attack into Kuwait. And as his tank was maneuvering through the berm, it became unsteady. And the tank rolled over. And in enemy territory, upside down in the tank, pinned in with a crew who was about to panic, Sergeant Major kept his cool. And he kept his team steady. And he kept them from doing something that could have got them hurt, all the while knowing that they could very well be captured or killed. But he relied on his teammates, and his teammates came in, and they grabbed that tank and they pulled it back up on his tracks and got him back into the fight. But imagine sitting in a tank upside down with 3 other men and not knowing whether you can get out or whether you're going to survive. And that's weighed heavily on him. But once again, we see the strong leadership of a great non-commissioned officer who kept that crew disciplined and allowed them to get rolled over and back into the fight. Discipline and courage, incredible traits. Traits not easily learned, but traits displayed. The other traumatic event is that he had a soldier that committed suicide while serving downrange. This affected Sergeant Major Foster because he considered their professional relationship a good and productive one. In fact, the same day he had talked to the soldier and thought they had a good conversation. And later that soldier would commit suicide. So this has left an impact on him, and it's weighed heavily on his mind. He's an advocate, as many of you know, for master resilient training and hunting the good stuff. And he talks about it often. In fact, I'll see him every day. He'll say, "Sir, you hunting good stuff?" Hunting good stuff. He believes that it is important to say something positive to everyone you encounter. And his philosophy is lean forward in the foxhole and expect the unexpected. Find the positive, even in the simple things of life. What a great message for all of us. And again, another great example of a great non-commissioned officer. The common theme throughout Sergeant Major Foster's 30 years of service has been mentorship and developing our young incoming troopers. He has continuously placed an emphasis on our future, preparing soldiers of today for tomorrow's battle by training them to become adaptive, critical thinkers, who uphold the values and standards upon which our Army is built. How very proud George Washington would have been to see the results that von Steuben started that are now manifest today in the men and women that have served alongside you, Sergeant Major, and all those that you've touched throughout your service to our Army. Rest assured that those that you have trained, all of us, will continue your legacy. In closing 30 years of military service, you do leave a legacy of excellence. When you joined the Army, even before the turn of the century, serving in our Army would become the fulfillment of all your boyish hopes and dreams. By looking at that picture, they've been fulfilled. And while the world has turned over many times since you took that oath at the MEP station, in the twilight of a remarkable career, we are here today to remember the deeds of a great soldier and to witness the whispers of a hollow ballad for an old soldier who will never die.
That's right.
But will simply just
Fade away.
And like the old soldier of that ballad, we now mark the closing chapter of another, Sergeant Major Doug Foster. He did his duty as God gave him light to see that duty. And after 30 years of serving our Army and the nation, he retires today with his loved ones all around, his head held high, and having completed a job well done. Thank you for your dedication and faithful service to our country, Sergeant Major, and thank you for being such a great leader. On behalf of a grateful nation, congratulations on your retirement. May God continue to bless you and all those you have served alongside as he continues to bless our country. Army strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very special time has now come to officially recognize Sergeant Major Foster for over 29 years of selfless and distinguished service to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Legion of Merit was established and approved by Congress on July 20th, 1942, an executive order on October 29th, 1942, by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Legion of Merit is awarded to members of the Armed Forces of the United States for exceptionally outstanding conduct in the performance of meritorious service to the United States. The performance must merit recognition by individuals in a key position, which was performed in a clearly exceptional manner. Attention to orders. The Legion of Merit is being presented to Sergeant Major Doug Wesley Foster for exceptionally meritorious service to the United States of America. Sergeant Major Foster's distinguished service is characterized by 29 years of professionalism, selfless service, and dedication to the profession of arms. His exemplary service and commitment to the nation through time of war and peace have been steadfast, unwavering, and in keeping with our Army values. Sergeant Major Foster's service to the nation and extraordinary accomplishments exemplify the finest traditions of the military and reflect distinct credit upon himself, the Army Cyber Command, and the United States Army. By order of the Secretary of the Army, signed 18 August 2017, Paul M. Nakasone, Lieutenant General, United States Army, commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, a certificate of appreciation from the President of the United States is being presented to Sergeant Major Foster. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Donald J. Trump, Commander-in-Chief. A certificate of appreciation from the Governor of Georgia is being presented to Sergeant Major Foster. It reads, It gives me great pleasure to join your friends and colleagues in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Army after 29 years of service. The freedoms and liberties we are blessed to enjoy are a direct result of your service and sacrifice. I count you among some of our nation's most honorable and upstanding citizens, and I wish you much success in the years ahead. Signed, Nathan Deal, Governor of Georgia. A certificate from the Governor of Texas is being presented to Sergeant Major Foster. It has often been said that the action of the brave allow us all to live free in this great land that we call home. Our armed forces have long borne the standard of our great nation in defending our most cherished rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We salute you for your continued service to the United States of America. Signed, Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas. A certificate from the Mayor of Augusta is being presented to Sergeant Major Foster. It is my distinct honor to commend you for your outstanding military service to our country and community. On behalf of the City of Augusta and all of her residents, I congratulate you on this milestone achievement and extend my deepest appreciation for your devoted service. Best wishes for an enjoyable retirement. Signed, Hardy Davis Jr., Mayor, Augusta, Georgia.
Hardy.
A proclamation from the City of Houston is being presented to Sergeant Major Foster. Whereas the City of Houston are grateful for Sergeant Major Doug W. Foster's professionalism, dedication, and service to our country, as he is a proud reminder of our nation's long tradition of great United States Army personnel who offer to protect our nation, preserving the freedoms and values we cherish. Therefore, I, Sylvester Turner, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proclaim November 30th, 2017 as Sergeant Major Doug W. Foster Day in Houston, Texas.
Whoop, whoop.
A certificate of honor from the Houston Texans is being presented to Sergeant Major Foster for his impact, hard work, and outstanding dedication to the United States Army for 29 years. The Houston Texans proudly honor Sergeant Major Doug Foster for his years of commitment and service. The command is pleased to retain on its rolls as a signalier the name of Sergeant Major Doug Wesley Foster, and in appreciation for his long service, appoints him a command signalier. Signed, Welton Chase Jr., Commanding General, 7th Signal Command Theater, and Command Sergeant Major Christine A. Purnell, Command Sergeant Major, 7th Signal Command Theater. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Major Foster is now presented his retirement certificate, retirement lapel pin, and his retirement flag. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Sergeant Major Doug Wesley Foster, Regular Army, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Army on the first day of November 2017. Signed, Mark A. Milley, General, United States Army, Chief of Staff. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher. My colors are a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshiped. I am saluted. I am respected. I am revered. I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Korea, Vietnam, the Persian Gulf, and scores of places long forgotten by all, except by those who were there with me. I was there. I led my soldiers and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired. But my soldiers and Marines cheered me. I was proud. I was at Ground Zero in New York City on September 11th as cowardly fanatics attacked America. I was raised from the ashes of once proud buildings by brave firefighters. Heroes who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloodied, will never be beaten. Those who would destroy me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is by those with whom I have served with in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surely bonds of earth, and from my vantage points on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I am torn in strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in trembling arms of a grieving mother at the gravesite of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God. Long may I wave. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with extreme honor and pride that I present to you Sergeant Major Doug Wesley Foster, United States Army, retired.
Okay, I always have a story for everything I do. I'm gonna ask you one question before I get started, and I'm gonna ask you if you can see me. Because I started out knowing me at 6'3", and now I'm like 5'7". I feel like overnight I've shrunk a couple more inches. Listen, if you think this speech is gonna be, if you think it's gonna be a tearjerker and it's gonna be boring, if you really know me, you know I like to tell stories and I like to laugh. So I'm going to share a few laughs with you this morning. Good morning to all of you. Before I start, I would like to give praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Command Sergeant Major Brigadier General Chase and Command Sergeant Major Purnell, thank you for hosting this retirement ceremony for me. It really means a lot to me. And thank you for the kind words, sir. Okay, I'm gonna start this out with a story. Now, next I'm gonna say, thank you to family and friends for attending this monumental event for me and my family. Now I'm going to tell the story. Okay, if you can't understand me, it's because I'm a country boy from Texas, And if you can't understand me, somebody raise your hand and I'll articulate it a little bit better. So, okay, picture this. I'm down in the motor pool as a tanker. My platoon sergeant came to me and he said, hey, listen. He said, I'm turning this next event over to you. We were supposed to go on the range. He said, I'm going to let you lead this next event. I knew nothing about running a range. I didn't even know what I was supposed to do, so he gave me a 10-minute class and all the requirements I had to accomplish before we went to the range. So I'm down there, go down and check my vehicles, and I'm going to date myself right now. I'm going to let you know, we didn't have Humvees. We had cut V's. Anybody know what a cut V is? Raise your hand. So number one mistake I made was that, when you had a key for a cut V, that key would start every vehicle in the motor pool. Thus bringing us to why we chain the vehicles up every night. So one of my soldiers failed in his task to put the chain on the vehicle. Somebody else was moving out to the range. Somebody came down with their magical key and started one of my cut V's. So first of all, I get down to the motor pool, my cut V is gone. I'm one vehicle short before I can move out to the range. And tankers are unrelentless. First sergeants and sergeant majors in the tanker world are unrelentless. They'll never let you forget that you failed in something. So I knew what was coming. My first sergeant was first sergeant champion, and he was the devil in disguise. I really didn't want to deal with this guy, so what I do, I go get a mechanic. I said, hey, I need a vehicle before we leave. I said, I need a vehicle now. Well, if you really know me, I didn't say it like that. That's the clean version. So I go and find the vehicle. It's got a lot of oil on the floor. Earl. Get to that part. So I said, hey, listen. I need this vehicle running now. And he started talking, but I didn't understand what he was saying because I need that vehicle right then. So we go down there, we pop the hood on the vehicle. I'm not a mechanic. A lot of you know that. First thing I did was I took my wrench and I undid something and all the oil came out of the vehicle. So one of the privates is standing behind me. He said, what can I do to help? And in normal Texas language, I said, go get me some Earl. I never turned around and looked at him. All he did was took off, because soldiers, when you say something, they take off and they go get what you need. 15 minutes later, he comes and he taps me on the shoulder. He says, hey, I got Earl. So I turn around. I think that I'm gonna grab a can of Earl. No, that was Private Earl standing. I said, what am I supposed to do with him? Pull his head off and pull him down the tank?